My brothers in Christ, here you and I sit some 2,000 years later. What part of this don't you and I understand? My brothers and sisters in Christ, it's important that you understand that you and I are only going to get to heaven by helping others. The fact of the matter is we're only going to get to heaven because somebody helped you and I. On somebody's coattails, you and I have made it. So when we start to think that we're self-made, I'm telling you, that's the beginning of the fall. So ask yourself one question. You fill in the blank. If it hadn't been for blank, I wouldn't be here today. If it hadn't been for blank, I wouldn't be where I am today. If it hadn't been for blank, I may not even be alive today. You've got to make sure that your name is somewhere in one of those three blanks. Because if you're not, then you're going to get to heaven and you know no one, which would be impossible. Therefore, you're at the wrong gate. So on Judgment Day, if you show up and you don't recognize anybody on the other side of the proverbial gate, you're at the wrong gate. And there's not a dang thing we can do about it. For all eternity, our life is nothing but a glimpse, maybe 100 years at best. All eternity, my brothers and sisters in Christ, it's all about love of neighbor. It's about giving a helping hand. You know the one commandment that we break incessantly? It's the 8th commandment. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. You know what the problem is? We think it only applies to, you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Can I tell you, that is the oldest lie in the book. And as a result of it, you and I buy in, that's the only argument. It's called the sin of detraction. When you email, text message, gossip, or slander, you go out of your way to badmouth somebody else. It's called the sin of detraction. You steal their honor and lower them in the eyes of others because you're self-righteous, because you've been proclaimed the new God. I mean, we judge as we drive out the street at 50 miles an hour. We belittle and judge people just like the drop of a hat. The problem is, once you break the commandment, you can't receive communion. Don't you see? You and I have to learn to help one another. It's got to be a helping hand. You know you can fill in those blanks with maybe different people. Maybe it's the same person. Well, the fact of the matter is our name needs to be in those blanks. Look, and it's not a parable, the rich man who steps over the poor man Lazarus. And as a result of it, he's eating the scraps off the table. The dogs are licking his wounds. They die on the same day. The rich man had no names in that blank. More importantly, he thought he was self-made. Moreover, nobody would have stuck his name in the blank. If he would have helped that man, Lazarus, instead of just stepping over him, Lazarus could have said, if it hadn't been for this man, I would not be here today. He didn't kill anybody either. So when work calls, can I tell you, take the phone call? Look, I understand you might be the only number that everybody has. That in all the people at work, yours is the only one that rings. Maybe your family. You're the only one phone number that rings as if you don't have siblings. Because the grace is for you. And that's what you need. So when you do that, you receive the grace. And nobody else does. This is why he tells them, you bless the house. If they don't want it, it comes back to you. When somebody curses you, belittles you, judges you, you pray for them, and then the blessing is not accepted, it comes back to you twofold. This is why I want to make sure you understand. You've got to offer a helping hand. You've got to reach out to somebody. You've got to make sure that they're okay. Nobody said you had to stop your whole world. But at the end of the day, you don't make heaven without helping somebody else. It's love of God and love of neighbor. My brothers in Christ, don't you get it? At the end of the day, the only way to thank God for your eyesight is to help a person in total darkness by reaching with a helping hand.